everybody, welcome back to Inside Gaming. We are reviewing Bugsnax today. It's the most anticipated game of the year.
Sort of, I guess.
Now we're going to find out if that was for good reason or not. With me are, say hello.
I'm Kdin.
Hi, it's me, Evan, at Darth Burrito, here to talk about the Bugsnax.
Just to clear the air here, Young Horses, the developer, did provide us with codes for the game, so they were given to us for free.
Can we address the elephant in the room then? Like right out of the way.
Go for it.
That trailer that everybody was fawning over, that's not the game. That is not the game at all. There are elements of the game in that trailer, and you do kind of get a feeling for some of the stuff you'll be doing, but the overall narrative arc of this game, you don't get that feeling at all from that trailer. It is I went in and I'm just like, okay, fun bug catching, food animal game. Total whiplash.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I was highly skeptical when I saw the trailer. Bugsnax is unsettling to me. Bugsnax is very
much though.
Just the idea of eating fruit and then your arm turning into a pizza or whatever is deeply unsettling to me. So I kind of went into the game skeptical already. But maybe we should just talk about what the game is first. What is Bugsnax, I guess, is the question, right?
So first of all, it's a narrative game. It's very much like a story-based game.
You've got this,
which is weird.
A pocket monster element, right? There's all the different Bugsnax. You're catching them. It's first person, but there's also, like you're saying, a lot of narrative-driven stuff in here. You're kind of driving a singular story, linear story, but with these the added Bugsnax mechanic of you're cataloging these bugs, taking pictures of them, but then also catching them and then feeding them to
also
grumpuses.
Think of it more. It's more Pokemon Snap than it is Pokemon.
The core element of the gameplay is you figure out the puzzle to catch the Bugsnax.
Yes.
And
which
then
sometimes
that's
is very
pretty much
fun,
it.
and sometimes is not fun at all.
Yeah, there isn't ever really more than 2 steps to catch any given bug, right?
Does anybody have a favorite Bugsnax?
Panetas. So that part's great, actually. I love the Bugsnax. I love their names that they yell at you.
I'm a big fan of Cheeser.
Yeah.
Cheeser.
Yep.
I love that.
I like it. She's got bug.
What is it? When I finally caught a Scoopy Banoopy, when they say their name Scoopy Banoopy, I definitely chuckled. I couldn't. Yeah. Just the way that it was said is. Yeah, all of that is great. The world building in this game is fantastic. The world of Bugsnax is really well realized. The production.
But what's the story, Evan? You want to give us a quick synopsis, really quick?
You play as a reporter. Elizabeth Megafig invites you to the Bugsnax Island, where she has made a great discovery. Spoiler alert: she's discovered Bugsnax. You go to Bugsnax Island. You fly on an airship. Your stuff gets wrecked by a giant pizza moth. You crash land on the island. When you wake up, you find a lovable character named Philbo. All hell is broken loose in Snaxburg. Everybody's left to their settlement. And if you want to interview Lisbert, you're going to have to help him put the town back together. And that's the premise of the game. Piecing together what happened, where's Lisbert, and then, hopefully getting your story and bringing it back to your EIC so you don't get fired.
And then the gameplay loop, I guess, in that is you go to a new area. There's a Grumpus waiting in that area. You have to do 2 or 3 quests for them, which is always bring them a certain type of Bugsnax. They come back to town. You talk to them again and do 5 different quests for them, which also involve you bringing them a certain number of a certain variety of Bugsnax.
Yeah, and it's a little bit grueling to that aspect. I think what you're kind of saying before, Patrick.
Is so tedious.
Yeah.
It feels tedious.
Some of them are catching most Bugsnax. Catching most of them is very fun. But then there are 1 or 2 at the very least in each area that are really a pain in the ass.
They keep setting you on fire or freeze you. Yeah.
Even if it's not the one you're trying to catch, it is impeding your progress just by existing
it'll just walk by and set
you.
Fire to your traps and stuff or something. That makes it more interesting, I suppose. But sometimes it is just oh my god, go away. Get out of here.
For some of those bigger Bugsnax, it's okay, this is the challenge. And then this other thing comes in. It's just I'm already dealing with this. It's already a challenge to deal with this. And you're ruining everything. You're making this way more difficult than it needs to be. And that aspect makes it very frustrating. It's not necessarily a huge deal, but it did happen enough for me to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna not play this for like 15 minutes because this is infuriating to me. And I'll come back. Either I'll I'll do a different quest line right now. I'll just come back later.
Yeah, I think on the upside to that, I feel like I put myself through it because I enjoy the Grumpuses so much. I enjoy the characters, the way they look and move around and like have that puppet walk.
They look like Muppets. They look like Muppets.
Muppets, yeah. Do you all have a favorite Grumpus? I really like Filbo.
I love that you say that. Like Filbo's very lovable. I couldn't stand him.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's awful. That's why I love. He's awful like me. Just a complete failure in everything he does.
I do like that he's a total failure.
Yeah, he's an absolute.
No one likes him. He's just like this sad kind of guy. I liked that about him.
Yeah, Filbo and Chandlo for me. It's like the two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Is that the beefcake?
Yeah, the beefcake.
Yeah.
I
liked Shelda because Shelda's quests were different, like comparatively to everybody else's. She's just like, figure out a way to get this over here to me without actually catching the Bugsnax. It's like, okay, this is a different kind of puzzle. I wish there was more of that. And the way she like framed it is like, well, I don't want to harm the Bugsnax. I don't want you to catch them. I want you to just let them exist. It's like, all right, it's a narratively, it makes sense for the character.
Yeah.
Plus it like adds things differently. I kind of also liked Triffany. Triffany was fun just because she was actually like, when talking to Triffany, you actually got lore for the actual island rather than just like, well, this Bugsnax is a strawberry. It's like, yeah, I know. Thank you. Thanks.
I like the voice acting. I think the voice acting was very good.
Very solid.
I like that each Grumpus kind of has a different regional accent. I thought that was fun. And yeah, I think like in terms of the sort of creative side of things, like the art design, the voice acting, the characters, all that stuff, I think it's super fun. It's very like Muppety, like you said.
It's really whimsical.
Yes, absolutely.
Then
I see.
I don't know.
There's a contrast between like this whimsical world, and then they've added the contrast of like this like more adults themey or like darkness inside of the Muppet world, where it's like they have relationships, they have breakups, they have like drama, like.
But it's so emo and mopey. I don't know. It was just like, why is this in here? I'm
gonna try and justify that, even though I kind of don't want to.
All right.
I think it feels that way, and I do definitely agree that it definitely feels that way, because the game's like 7 hours. Unless you decide to, at one point, once you get to the end of the game, you can even just be like, whoa, hold on, I'm actually gonna go back and finish all the side quests. Unless you do that, the game is just, you're in and out and over it in, between 6 to 9 hours, give or take, on how aggressive some of the Bugsnax are at trolling you.
Yeah, and I really like the different biomes, like the beach area, and there's the snowy mountain, and like a kind of like a desert zone. But yeah, I think this game could be even shorter, just in terms of the way it uses its mechanics, and that stuff kind of grinds, because like what you're actually doing kind of drags. And it's like, I think it's well built. Like each trap on its own works well and is fun to use, but like there's no sense of like putting them together. And there is sometimes, I'll give it that. Like, but it just seems like it's almost there, and it just achieves a lot of things really well. Like you said, the world building and the aesthetic of it is cohesive, but like actually playing the game, I think, for that long does kind of drag, and then you get like kind of long storied sequences too, so it's kind of like the pacing feels a little bit off.
Yeah, I think having to play this so quickly for a review is also definitely not the way to do it. I think it might be fun to like pick up over the course of a few, like 2 weeks or something occasionally, do a couple quests, come back to it. This was not something I wanted to play for 5 hours yesterday, or however long I played it for.
By the time it ended, I kind of wanted it to be over.
Yeah.
So there's different ways to actually catch the Bugsnax, which is, again, the main mechanic of the game is do a quest for a Grumpus, bring them a Bugsnax. In one way, shape, or form. There's the snack trap, which you get first, which is literally just you put it down and it catches a Bugsnax in most cases. There's the buggy ball, which is a little strawberry Bugsnax that's rolling around in a ball that you can guide with a laser.
Yeah.
Strawberry, excuse me. There's the sauce slinger, which is probably my favorite, which literally just hurls ketchup and hot sauce and peanut butter and chocolate and all that stuff at a Bugsnax, and it accomplishes a goal. Well, it's like you either do it and it dazes it, or it attracts another Bugsnax to it and they get get into a fight, or like they fall in love, or whatever.
Lure it to a trap. Yeah.
Yeah, you can lure it into like water if it's a fire thing. Or
Then there's the snack grappler, which is that's the other thing is there's the trip shot and the snack grappler, and they're both like very similar in kind of their execution. The snack grappler is the one that like literally grabs a bug snack and pulls it towards you, or a basketball in most cases then.
Yeah, that one is more like a grappling hook, but it doesn't like, there's like 1 or 2 bug snacks that you can actually like catch with it. That's really not what it's for. It's more for like interacting with objects in the world, it seems like. Exactly. The main function of the trip shot is it's a trip wire.
Yeah.
And it knocks out bugs, and then it also can like carry fire.
And then there's the launch pad, which launches things. And that's it flings like rocks or you or something towards something else or in the air. And I mean, some of them, I hate the launch pad. I hated it.
Oh, it was like my
really
favorite
frustrating.
thing.
It was so frustrating.
I used that probably more than anything else.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because like you're saying about
it's so easy to launch one bug at another bug with it, and then knock them
I
out
just use the sauce slinger like all the time to just like find one that's just like, oh, you really love this or you really hate this? I'm just gonna throw this on that, and then you're just gonna smash into it. There, problem solved.
Yeah, I just use it to get bugs out of the way. Like you're saying, like some bugs will stop you from trying to catch them. Like, okay, you're in a lake now. Just go over there. You're done. Get away from me. But all the names of stuff in this game were pretty good. I think people were like embalmed with like whimsy when they saw the trailer for this game, but it really pretty much just grosses me out. Like bug foods.
Really?
Not my thing. Yeah. This whole time, I'm like, ooh, a cockroach. I don't want to eat.
That's hilarious.
Would you eat a bug snack? Would you have a bug snack you would eat?
No.
I wouldn't eat a bug snack, but it doesn't gross me out.
No.
My favorite part of the game, even though it can also be fairly frustrating at times, is, I guess, and now we can get into more spoiler territory. But my favorite part of the game were like the boss fight things. Basically what happens is when you complete a quest line for certain characters, maybe it's all the characters, I'm not sure.
Seems to be most of them are at least one for each area. Yeah. And they're completely side quests, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, like I don't know that you would ever have to do any of them.
You can 100% skip every side quest and just focus on the mainline stuff because there's nothing gained from that stuff. I went to the end of the game, got the like, hey, don't go past this, and it would have let me.
Yeah.
But I went back.
Yeah, I did that too, and I stopped to finish side quests.
I did the opposite thing. I just played through, mainlined, and then loaded up. It just when you hit continue again, when you hit the title screen, it just starts you before like the final push. Like there's like an event that happens. Makes sense. Yeah, it just starts you right there. I picked up all those side quests and I beat like 2 boss bugs. And those quests are really fun, like you're saying, Patrick. So it's kind of sad that they're not part of like the main quest. I would have rather.
That was my favorite part of the game, was those things, those big fights, because you have to like, they were the best use of the tools and stuff, like having to like figure out how to use a specific tool for each scenario.
Yeah, if anything, that's the part of the game that I feel like they had the most unique like concept over, and they only utilize it so many times, and in no way, shape, or form do they ever do it in the main area of the game.
Yeah.
You have to go out and search for it, and that's the most interesting parts of the game is there. So for people who are like completionists and like doing all the side quests, you'll probably get a lot more out of this than like somebody who's just like, I just want to play Bugsnax for a couple hours. Game's over, and then you leave. But you know, this is a game that the more you end up actually putting your time into it, the more it will reward you with fun experiences. But you have to get over that like repetitive cycle hump. So Evan, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you had a glitch in the game. Patrick, did you have one? Because I know I did.
Oh, I thought I did, but then I figured it out.
What were yours, kid?
My big one was right near the end of the game. There's this scripted sequence where someone is throwing something and it's supposed to go in a line. What happened was, at the same time you have this thing that's flying around that you control, the thing that was flying around decided to switch sides whenever it wanted, so I couldn't actually lock on to any of the things that were thrown. And it just locked me out of this entire section, which actually really kind of sucked because it changed the ending of the game for me.
I fell through the map once, which, to the game's credit, I was trying to kind of do a sequence break thing. I was trying to launch myself into an area that I wasn't supposed to access yet. I got really close to it. This was just, I was just like testing it to see what I could get away with in the game, and I fell through the map once, but that was pretty like I don't think, unless you're trying to break the game, which I was, I don't think you would run into that.
I got sucked into
not
a
sure.
rock at one point.
Oh,
like, I was
nice.
just walking next to a wall, and for whatever reason, the geometry of the rock and the Grumpus character just did not like each other.
The craziest glitch I had was there's a sequence in the game where you basically have pizza cutters, giant pizza cutters, and you shoot your hook shot to activate them. And it's essentially like, think of a giant statue, and there's sort of like a button at the base of it that you hit. One of those buttons came off the statue, which it's like a giant stone thing. And it would just like, I would hit it, and like I could hit it from across the map. The thing would still activate, but then the button would go flying behind me.
The game costs $25. Do you feel like you got $25 worth of
Yes.
enjoyment out of this
yeah.
game?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with that too.
I don't think the game is the meme game that people think it is.
Yeah.
No, it's actually got it's got a very streamlined plot. The characters themselves are very fun. The voice acting is really great. The music is whimsical. Everything matches a lot of like the style and aesthetic, both with audio and the actual visuals themselves. Bugsnax are great. They're cool. Game is just okay. It's an okay game.
Yeah. Yep. I think that nails it right on the head. I'd say everything you all are saying about like the production value and the world building characters, that all lines up. I think like the Bugsnax mechanics, which we kind of covered extensively, are good at times and kind of mediocre at others. It's for me, it's like the whole package of the game, like the cohesiveness of it and what they deliver there. Like I enjoy the characters' VO and like the way they look and the way like you just have these weird fruit monsters by the end of the game because you keep feeding them Bugsnax. All of that just plays super well. But yeah,
My Filbo looks like a demon.
my Cromdo face has like pizza ears and just is wild. Yeah, I think like full package $25 is kind of worth it, but I don't think you're gonna be like blown away by the story or particularly by bug catching mechanics, but just kind of being in that world and doing the things is like
It is not
good
the
enough.
PlayStation 5, selling game that everybody wants it to be. I think it's charming enough to hold your attention for as long as the game lasts, and not a moment longer.
Yes,
And
I would
that's
agree with that.
totally fine.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what we got for you. Bugsnax is mostly okay. It scares me even saying that because I know that people are so amped about this game. They're so psyched about it. Anyway, that is all we got for you today. We probably have some console coverage coming up at this point, right?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. Stay
At some
tuned.
point.
Yeah, thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
That's how you end a show.
If you had the chance to play Ghost of Tsushima when it released back in July, you know that the game was absolutely fantastic. Typically when games take the feudal Japan route, they tend to lean heavier on the fantasy aspect of it. Ghost of Tsushima, however, was a little more grounded as far as story and gameplay goes. Sure, there were a few fantastical elements, but that's only because it's a video game.